Hello, my name is Sean Policino. Welcome to the Real World of Real Estate. Today, we're going to explain the most disruptive real estate model in history, the EXP model. And so, I would like you to ask yourself a question. How many ways does your broker compensate you today? You've obviously partnered with a broker, whether it's Remax, Compass, Keller Williams, doesn't matter who it is, or maybe you're an independent. How many different ways do you have to be compensated? The other thing is, do you have ownership in that brokerage? And the probably answer is probably no. So this model will give you both ownership and 9 different ways to make money using your real estate license. So here's a quick intro, and let's get into the most disruptive real estate model in history and the fastest growing real estate model in history. Thank you.
Sure. Oh, wait. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. So we'll just do one more minute to get everybody logged in. Got a few people joining here. Sorry, we're starting a couple minutes late here. We had a little bit of technical difficulty getting the meeting started. So I'm going to get into it a little bit quicker than normal. If anybody has any questions during the presentation, please put your hand up in the little yellow hand, or if you just want to interrupt me, that's okay too. Totally fine with whatever you. Tim, are you just going to continue to let people in and I'll get started? Perfect. Well, great. My name is Sean Policino. I'm with Icon Coaching, as well as Sean Kukoska is my sponsor. And I'm filling in today, giving a presentation on the EXP model. And so if you were invited by somebody here today, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me or reach out, but I will honor that person and try to help by answering any questions. But you can always go back to the person that invited you and ask any questions. We'll have some question and answer at the end, as well as you can interrupt me along the way. This is a presentation and overview of the entire EXP model, as well as the RELO model, which I'll get into that as well. So a little bit about myself. My name is Sean Policino. Like I said, I was with Keller Williams for 16 years. You'll hear me make reference to Keller Williams. I love Keller Williams as a company. Great company, just doesn't offer what we have here at EXP. And after 16 and a half years, I decided to make the change about a year and a half ago. I sold 36 homes my first year. I averaged between 35 and 45 homes a year in personal production. I have a team here in Los Angeles that's also in Dallas, Texas, and Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts as well. Started in real estate in 2005. I was very vested in the Keller Williams system, became a productivity coach for the markets, for the office, as well as eventually a team leader of the office, which is kind of like a CEO of the Huntington Beach office. And I was on the Keller Williams Office Leadership Council, which is like their board of directors for 7 terms. So very vested into the model there. And I never thought I would leave Keller Williams, to be honest with you. But until I, really took a look at this, which Sean shared this with me when he left Keller Williams, and it took me 2 years to actually make the move. And that was a huge mistake. That mistake cost me over $250,000 when I did the math. So hopefully you don't make that mistake, but it's just a little bit about me. And so who is EXP? There was a day, just like there was with Keller Williams, where they said, Keller who? EXP who? I can remember saying to people, oh, EXP, that thing's not going to last. Well, we started in 2009, and here's just a little brief timeline. You can see that, we went public as a company, which was a huge part of our company's model. We are the fastest growing real estate company, with over 84,000 agents as of today. And we are made up of EXP World Holdings is made up of 4 companies, actually: EXP Residential, EXP Commercial, EXP Success Mortgage, and then Success Magazine. Success Magazine is a business publication. It's been around since the early 1900s. very popular magazine, and we own that. And so when you get stock in the company, you're getting stock in the whole company. Who are we today? We are a debt-free company. A lot of people, Compass and Zillow offers. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there, especially with the changing market that we find ourselves in today, that are struggling with with just generating enough income and managing the debt they have. We are a very solid company, and this is all directly out of our investor package. So you can go to you can go to NASDAQ and put in the ticker symbol of EXPI, and you'll get a lot of this information. But very, very solid company. All of real estate right now is getting pummeled as far as stock price, because obviously we're expecting, the market is expecting a downturn in the market. So don't be surprised. But hey, it's like a sale at the store. Sandra, when you go shopping, do you like going to the clearance rack in the back of the store? I mean, that's what they do. They put it way in the back. But with us, we don't have to worry about that. The stock market handles that. And when it's really low like it is today, it's a buying opportunity. And over 60% of, almost 60%, not over, almost 60% of our stock is owned by the agents, which is kind of like American Airlines being an employee-owned company or an agent-owned company. Kind of some of the highlights about our company: we're a cloud-based brokerage, the only one of its kind that has all the different facets that this model has. We focus on growing agent count. We're a growth-driven company. We have a global network in over 21 different countries at the moment, and many to open up here in the future. Strong financial core, and we're the fastest growing real estate company. So there's our latest growth, agent and revenue. Just to show you some of our numbers and why we're the fastest growing real estate company: agent count and revenue. So we are attracting now. I mean, back in the beginning, I hear stories about how we couldn't get any of the top agents. Now we're attracting many of the top agents, doing huge numbers. Dave DeVoe, over 300 transactions. Colette McDonald, and I'll share her in just a second why she's important. Daniel Beer, 280 transactions. Fred Weaver, 342 transactions, so on and so forth. The Franklin team, 1,795 transactions. And Colette McDonald, I like to highlight her because she's the only approved realtor for the Atlanta Falcons. And in the Atlanta area, very well known, doesn't do a huge number of transactions, 50, great number, but she's helping some very influential people there for the Atlanta Falcons. And why would somebody like that want to come to EXP? So I'd like you to ask yourself a couple questions here. The first one being, what is the brokerage model of the future? Every business model has a model, and it changes over time. And there's new models come on to the scene, and in the sector, companies have to change. And so real estate isn't any different. And from a business standpoint, we believe there's a major shift happening inside the real estate industry, and that has to do with the brick and mortar versus the cloud-based. And COVID accentuated that and accelerated that in a lot of different businesses. I was talking to a client who's a psychologist, and all of her meetings are over Zoom now. And I asked her, I said, do you feel like you're getting the same results over Zoom as a family counselor, a therapist? She said, absolutely. All my clients just love it. It's so much more convenient, and they don't have to make that drive into the office. And we do have offices, by the way. A lot of people say we don't, but that is incorrect. We do have offices, but there's been shifts in this in other industries. Like, look at Blockbuster Video. Anybody remember that? Blockbuster Video? Netflix not only changed the way we rented videos, but it later changed the way we watch TV, because Netflix pioneered streaming TV, which is every network now is catching up with their own app to stream television. And so many people are watching TV streaming today instead of the traditional cable method. And Circuit City represents all of retail. Look at how retail has changed because of what Amazon has done. Started out at books, but then ended up in just completely dominating retail. Changed the way the shipping. Look at how shipping companies are chasing what Amazon has been able to do. You buy something on your app, it's at your doorstep by that afternoon. And now you see more Amazon trucks than you do UPS trucks. Yellow cab, look at Uber. Uber and Lyft and all these other companies now that have spawned from ride sharing, which Uber pioneered. So we believe that the traditional brokerage model is the way of the past, and Keller Williams came on the scene, and they were very interesting. They were kind of a hybrid in between the traditional brokerage model and the discount brokerage model. And hello, Frank, how you doing? So Keller Williams was changed. That Keller Williams put the agent in the center of the transaction. Typically, in the traditional brokerage model, you can imagine an upside down triangle with or upside down pyramid where the agent is at the bottom, and all the agent commissions that are generated by the agent pay all the overhead up top. So the office, the phones, the computers, the salaries of the CEO and the broker who run that business, as well as the owner's profits, come from the agents, and it goes up backwards. And what Keller Williams did is they said, we're going to put the agent in the center of the transaction and build the brokerage around the agent and make the agent the most important thing. And Glenn Sanford, the founder of our company, also was with Keller Williams, took that and plussed it, and basically said, we're going to take the agent and put them in the broker owner position without the heavy investment, without the liability and all the insurances and the brick and mortar and overhead and all that goes with it, and came up with this amazing model that we're experiencing today. And that's called eXp Realty. And so what makes us different? We're one brokerage, not a franchise. We are very different in the sense that when you take away the local confined office, it opens up the abilities of the agents and the entrepreneurs that we have in our company. So lower costs, so costly overhead in the franchise, locally confined, inconsistent growth incentives, limited technology and support. And when you take away the overhead, it gives you a cloud-based environment, kind of like the metaverse. Ours is called Virbela, and we own the technology, and we were actually doing this before the metaverse. But it's a unique experience where you go in kind of like a Zoom meeting, and instead of a camera, you have an avatar of yourself, and you can access, pretty soon going to be able to access by VR goggles if you want, but you access it to a typical computer or tablet. And so you can go to the broker office, the text department, the marketing department, whatever you want to do through the cloud-based environment. We have over 60 hours of training every week that's happening in that environment, real-time support. I get help with the broker faster with eXp than I ever did with KW, even though it was a live person, because every time I went to go to the broker's office, she was either in teaching a class or helping an agent already, and I had to wait. And literally, in my state of California, we're a very large state, we have there's over 60 different managing brokers, as well as the designated broker at the top. So I have plenty of people to help me. And then powerful equity opportunities. That's a huge part of what this lower overhead has given us. So ask yourself the question, in what ways does your current brokerage compensate you? Wow, I've always said one, maybe two, because Keller Williams had profit share. But now that I understand the difference between profit share and revenue share, I really only, in all my 16 and a half years, I made a little bit over $10,000 in profit share. And that was because for 10 of the 16 years, I was with an office that wasn't profitable. And so guess what? I didn't make very much profit share. But being in Keller Williams, I didn't know there was any difference between profit and revenue. I really didn't understand the two. So we'll get into that in just a little bit as well. So just a quick overview of the 9 different ways that I'm going to go over the ability for you to have the ability to make money in your real estate business. And 2 of these ways are separate and apart from eXp, and that's called reload funding. And I'll get into that at the end. But they function very similar to eXp, and they were actually copied and pioneered from what eXp created through a company called AmeriFirst Mortgage that's been around for a long time and does over $2 billion in mortgages. So transactional income is the traditional, representing buyers, sellers, and investors as a real estate agent. So we'll get into that. Then we have stock-based awards based upon your production. And we have direct stock purchase program, which is totally volunteer, kind of like a 401k. You have the option of participating or not. And there's even a matching component in ours, kind of like a 401k as well. iBuyer sales, which is called Express Offers, and then iBuyer referrals, where you take the Express Offer platform and generate a massive amount of referrals using it. Reload funding, which I'll get into that. And you know what? My order there is a little bit reversed. I'm going to change that on my slide presentation here, but we'll get into the EXP rev share model first, and then I'll explain what reload funding is. And then there's also EXP healthcare, which many companies, many real estate agents out there are, with either without healthcare, or their company just doesn't simply offer any healthcare options. Not only do we offer healthcare options, but it's a revenue opportunity for the agents, because as they grow their networks, like Sean Kokoska has over 2,300 people in his network. And just think if all of those people take advantage of healthcare and Sean were to earn a commission off of that. So very cool concept. So let's get into transactional income first. And again, if you have any questions of this, please don't hesitate to interrupt me or ask any questions or put your hand up and I'll call on you. I see Blake from my team is here. Give Blake a quick shout out. I believe he has a guest here as well. What is your current broker fee model? So, a lot of agents, they just compare the split and how much they have to pay their company, and they don't look at any of the other things that we offer. So I really encourage you to take your biased glasses off. If you're a guest here today, take your normal bias that you have for your company. I know you love your company. I loved my company for 16 and a half years, and I loved it for 2 years longer than I should have, really, because it cost me over $250,000 by not taking advantage of the EXP model when it was first presented to me. So don't make that mistake. But don't just look at the broker split. The split is not as important if you know how much you have to give the company. And that's the real thing to take away from this. We're on an 80-20 split. Every agent is the same. There is no special carve outs based upon how great of an agent you are. Everybody's 80-20, and everybody has a $16,000 cap. Unless you're on a team, then that varies. You get a half a cap if you're on a team. And if your team is big enough, you get even half a cap, which is a quarter cap, based upon the size of the team that you're on. So it's still 80-20 split, just means you pay your cap 50 faster if you have a smaller cap commitment. So the other fees, very simple. We have a $25 broker review fee that every transaction gets, that never goes away. And that's the compliance aspect. We have a $40 E&O that goes into your E&O insurance, but that caps at $500. I was with 2 Keller Williams offices in the 16 years. My first one charged me $99 a transaction, and I sold 40 homes. That's $4,000 for E&O insurance. I had no idea that it was even supposed to be, not even supposed to be that expensive. When I went to the next KW office, it was only $50 a month. So that's $600 a year. So I mean, it varies office to office, but here we're a really low $500 cap on the E&O insurance, and you only have to pay it per transaction. So if you only sell 4 or 5 homes, you're not paying as much. We have a $64 startup fee, that's a one-time fee, and an $85 technology fee that's every month. So what do you get for the $85? What's included in that? A ton. You have a complete end-to-end business system, SkySlope, Facebook, Workplace by Facebook, CRM lead generation called KV Core, and a branding and marketing tech and all your tech support that you need. So I'm going to break each one of those down. EXP Enterprise, it's an end-to-end system platform that gives you your stock-based awards, how much, it breaks down all your transactions, how far you are away from hitting your cap, where your income, all your sources of income come into that as well. And then you have real-time, all your real-time equity awards, all that stuff is found right on the end-to-end, plus your agent details are there and team and as well. SkySlope is a software that manages the transactions. So from a compliance standpoint, all your required documents, it also is the interaction, the portal between you and EXP for getting those broker reviews and file reviews done. You can sign documents digitally if you'd like to. You really can run your entire business through this software. Workplace by Facebook is it's like Facebook, but it's all about work, and it's all the announcements, company announcements. You can have your own private groups for your team. We have referral groups, so that the whole company is on there. We're passing referrals back and forth by state by state. It's an amazing experience. Plus, you can post content on there, like from a social aspect. You can broadcast live videos. It's a great platform by Meta and Facebook. KV Core, probably one of the best CRMs I've experienced, and I've used a lot of different ones. I have a team, so I run my entire team. I generate leads. It's called Make It Rain. That's how you generate leads. Even if you don't have listings, you can get permission from an agent and generate listings around that, generate leads around their listing, by spending a little bit of advertising dollars. Like I said, it's got features like artificial intelligence and behavioral science that a lot of the other CRMs I've used don't even have. And it's people pay $6,000 a year just to have this software. We get it included. We have our own marketing and branding department. You get your first 1,000 business cards and some marketing materials just for joining the company. That's included as well. And you don't have to use any specific branding other than having the EXP logo for compliance reasons. State, local require the broker logo to be part of the signage and marketing. But they don't mandate that you use this big goofy balloon on there, and you can't have your own colors and your own branding. So driving around town, you might not even realize it's an EXP agent. That's the same kind of thing happened with Keller Williams as well. We had people who didn't realize we were Keller Williams agents because every sign was very unique to the agent and their branding. Like I said before, we do have offices. A lot of people say we don't have offices. That's not true. We have over 3,000 of them, the Regus and Spaces. I was at an office yesterday doing a team meeting, and we have a worldwide business membership included in our fees. So you can go there and use the common area for free. If you want a private conference room or a private office, I rented an office for 2 hours yesterday at $19 an hour. So I just needed it for that day, So the other thing that's great about this system, and here's some pictures of what our offices look like. Really trendy, kind of the Google WeWork environment. The Spaces are more like the Google environment, than the Regus are more traditional. But here's a great thing. How many referral opportunities do you get when you walk into your office, which is a real estate office with 30, 40, 50, maybe 5 agents? Do you ever get a referral? No, never. In 16 and a half years, I got one referral, and that's because somebody walked in and needed help, and he didn't have anybody. He wasn't assigned to a specific agent. Happened one time in 16 and a half years. Well, if you go into a Regus or a Spaces office, there's engineers, architects, lawyers, CPAs, all sorts of advertising and marketing companies. Do you think there's an opportunity there for referrals? Absolutely. So let's talk about the world. This is that environment I told you, kind of like the metaverse. It's on a platform called Virbela that we purchased, I think back in 2012 or 13. And it literally it's an island. It's a corporate campus on an island. You can go in there and meet with the broker. You can go to the marketing department. You can hold a meeting. You can go to the 60 hours of training. You can see that a large scale meeting on the right there with all the avatars of the agents that are in there watching the training. You can even go in there and jump in the boat, drive the boat around the island, go out to the pirate ship. You can go to the soccer field and kick the soccer ball around and have a game with one of your team members if you wanted to. So there's just some pictures of what that looks like. But you can literally meet and collaborate anywhere. So let's get into stock-based awards based upon production. So this is great. No, I'm not aware of any company out there, even the publicly traded ones like Compass, that I just heard Compass was giving stock-based or production-based awards, but I heard they halted those recently. So there's a video out there you can check out, Compass. Hopefully I'm not offending you if you're with Compass, but there's a video out there about the Compass's model and why it's problematic, and that coming into this market, they're being crunched for money. And that's probably why, they may have, like I said, it's hearsay. I don't know for a fact that they did, but that they stopped their production awards. But here at EXP, you do your first transaction every year, you get $200 in EXPI stock. You sponsor an agent. I'll tell you talk about what sponsoring is. That's just when you share something that you share a model that you really love. Like all of us have probably shared a movie that we watched that we really enjoyed, or maybe a show that we binge watch on TV that we really enjoy, and we share it with somebody, or a restaurant that we really liked, and we tell people, hey, you got to go check out this restaurant. That's what sponsoring looks like. All you're doing is talking to agents and sharing with them why you came here and why you love this company. And when you do that, you sponsor an agent, they do their first transaction, you get another $400 worth of stock. If you hit your cap, or when you hit your cap, which typically takes 6 to 8 transactions, if you're averaging around 500,000 per transaction on a purchase price, then you're going to do that in about 6 to 8 transactions. So you hit your cap, you get another $400 worth of stock. And then even better, this literally is why I came here. If I'm going to sell 25, 26 homes at Keller Williams, I might as well do it for free here at EXP, because if I do that at EXP, I get my 16,000 back in a stock-based award. Now, any of these awards here do have a 3-year vesting, so you do have to stay with the company for 3 years before you can actually sell that stock. And that's just the stock-based awards that have that restriction. But check it out. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing to get all of your company dollar back in the form of award just for selling the real estate you're going to sell anyways? And 26 homes, guys, is totally doable. That's like 2 a month. Now, let's say you hit that 26, 28 home mark. You're called what's called an icon agent. When you get icon status, then that means you have to hit your cap. Be able to earn that icon status. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, good. Got a message that my microphone was having a problem. So when you do get that icon status, you do get recognized as an icon agent. You become part of the iConversations. There's a lot of recognition that you get for that. A lot of these agents are the ones teaching the class because they just want to give back. They're panelists on stage at the major events that we have. It is really a cool feeling to be recognized by the company that you put so much into. So the third thing is direct stock purchase program. This is optional. This is similar to a 401k, guys. It's not a 401k. It's not pre-tax dollars, but it works similarly in the sense that every transaction, when you agree to be part of this program, every transaction that you close, they're going to take 5% of that commission, put it into an account, and then at the end of each quarter, they buy the stock at the end of each quarter, and they give you a 10% discount. So 5% of the stock, it is limited to that 5%. You get a 10% discount, which means that it's like buying $9 or getting $10 bills, but only having to pay $9 each. So it's like the company matching $1 for every $9 that you put in. There is no restrictions on this stock, so you can literally sell this at any time. And I have a friend that came to EXP from Remax about 5.5 years ago. And I'm going to get into the stock price here, so you'll see why. But he sells a lot of homes. He hits Icon every year. And he put $500,000 down recently on the purchase of a new home for his family. And all of that 500,000 came from the stock that he had earned and generated over the last 5.5 years. Pretty incredible. So this is an example of if you were, and a big part of why Nate was able to do that with his family. But if you had, prior to COVID, stock was at $6.50 a share, okay? And on August 20th, our stocks did a 2-for-1 split. So it got up to about $128 and then split. So the adjusted price at that time on August 20th was $82.32. So if you had been an Icon agent and received a $16,000 just once, if you had received a $16,000 your Icon award back in 2015 when the stock was $6.50, and you based it upon our today, not today, but because today the stock is at about $13, but our 52-week high, then that stock, that 16,000 would have grown to over $200,000 based upon our 52-week high, which you see there on the right of $127.94 before it split. Incredible. And this is how the stock market can really help you in your real estate career. Just think of the wealth that you're growing, and it becomes generational. If you don't sell it, you can leave it to your family, just like you can rev share as well, which I'm going to get into that in just a little bit as well. So the next is iBuyer, the iBuyer program called Express Offers. This is a very unique program. Keller Williams has something called Keller Offers. Zillow had Zillow Offers. Redfin has a program that's similar. Opendoor is also similar. Now Zillow Offers has gone away. They actually shut that down because they couldn't make it make money for them. But ours is very healthy because what we did is we designed a platform that we plug outside institutional buyers into. So the buyers aren't, it's not us buying the property. Maybe from a legal standpoint, we are, because we represent those institutional buyers, but the buyers are not necessarily part of EXP. They're outside and they can come and go into the platform. And so it's very unique. And what it allows you to do is to walk into a listing appointment with a cash buyer in your pocket. Could you imagine that? You do have to get certified for this program, but there's no cost to enter it. Once you're part of it, you're Express Offer certified, you literally have a cash buyer. You can generate a cash offer for any client within 24 hours and close within 10 days. Now, let's say you go on the MLS. Many of these institutional buyers will buy properties right off the MLS as long as it's not listed by an EXP agent. So you can go into the MLS, find some great deals for the Express Offers, go back to the platform, plug it in, and then get a commission on that, a 2.5% co-op commission. Now, let's say you go out and find your own listings. Now you can offer them, hey, how would you like to have a no hassle sale here? Not have to show it traditionally, go through open houses, pay a higher rate of commission, and I can get you an offer. Now, granted, that offer is not going to be at the current market value. It's going to be probably 70 to 80% of the market value, but you can generate them a cash offer. Now, if they accept the cash offer and it's an investor that is going to flip it, then you get the commission on the other end as well. So you would actually earn the co-op commission as well as a 1.5% listing commission, giving you a total double ending commission of 4%. Pretty cool. Now, let's take that one step further. You're Express Offer certified like me in California. I can generate and do business anywhere in California, but I can't in Kentucky. I can't in Florida, right? Because I'm not licensed there. But I can generate referrals of somebody that needs a cash offer in Kentucky, plug it into my Express Offers, get it approved, and that is called iBuyer referrals. And it's good. How can you use the iBuyer Express Offers program to generate more listings in other states? And we're in 50 states. This is how you do it. You advertise with a Facebook. Hey, I've got a cash buyer that's looking to buy property in Kentucky or in a specific city. You get people that agents that reach out or consumers that reach out. You partner through a licensed agent in that state, and then you turn around and use the Express Offers platform to generate the offer. Bingo, now you've got a referral fee. And you do that from the comfort of your home in front of your computer. You never had to go on a listing appointment, never had to work with any buyers. Pretty cool, huh? So we're gonna get into this is the big daddy. It's EXP corporate revenue share. Now, a lot of people compare this to multi-level marketing. It is not multi-level marketing. There's no extra selling that has to happen here. You're not required to buy a certain product, and that's what most multi-level marketing has. It's not a pyramid. Last time I checked, you can go as wide as you want. It's 7 levels deep, and last time I took geometry, that's a rectangle, not a pyramid. So lots of folks compare to that, but it's a corporate revenue share structure that is ingenious. Now, Glenn Sanford took what Keller Williams did and actually made it better. And so the way this works is EXP has agreed in their corporate charter to share 50% of the corporate profits back with the agents that were responsible for growth, back to the agents. And how do they do that? They do that in a 7-level corporate revenue sharing structure, which I'll get into. So it kind of works like it has a compounding effect. So let me ask you a question. If I gave you a penny today and said, tomorrow I'll double it, and the day after that, I'll double that. So today I give you a penny, tomorrow I give you 2 pennies, the next day I give you 4 pennies, the next day I give you 8 pennies. On the 10th day, you have over $5 in your pocket. Pretty cool, right? I'm gonna do that for 30 days. Or I'll give you $1 million cash. You can take the $1 million now, walk away. Which would you pick? Any takers? Anybody want to throw it in the chat there? So if you took the $1 million, you made a mistake, because at the end of 30 days, you'd have over $5.3 million. And so that's how compounding works. Now, let's just say hypothetically, you shared, like you share a great restaurant or a great movie, you shared this model with 5 agents. In the first month, you had 5 agents sponsor you as their agent. In the first 30 days, it would look like this. There'll be you, and then there'll be the 5 agents that you sponsored that joined the company. Now, we're going to assume in this assumption that they're all capping agents, which means they sell between 6 and 8 homes, which isn't that's pretty conservative, because if you think about it, the average agent nationally sells 5 or 6 homes. So it's pretty close to that. We're also assuming that every month you get 5. So you take those, you get your first 5 in the first month, and the second month, you're going to help those 5 get their 5, and so on and so forth. You're going to do that for an entire year. Okay. So in the second month, you would look like this. There would be you, there would be the first 5 agents in your first level, and then the 5 agents that you help those 5 agents get. And it would look like this. So in the way the structure works, and I'll share the table of 7 levels with you in a second, is that in level 1, you need 5 agents to unlock level 2. And the maximum you can earn up to $2,800 per agent, depending if they cap or not. So they don't have to cap it. We're assuming that all of these cap. So in your first level, you got $2,800 per each. And then in the second level, it's $3,200. And each level has a different amount. I'll show you that in a second. So in this example, 5 agents get 28, that's 14,000 in 1 year. And the next 25 agents get 3,200 per agent, that's 80,000. So at the end of the year, if you did this assumption, that's $94,000 extra. Let me ask you a question. If you had an extra $100,000 in a separate revenue stream coming in, that's passive, meaning next year you get it again. How important would it be to sell real estate? How many buyers would you go out and deal with? How many sellers would you go out and deal with? You'd probably just deal with the buyers and sellers that you wanted to, not that you have to. We sell real estate today probably because we have to generate enough money for our family and our livelihood, to go on vacations and be able to fund our savings plan. But if we didn't have to, because we had 100,000 coming in from somewhere else, it makes selling real estate a little bit less important, doesn't it? It does for me anyways. I'm wondering if I'm alone, but it's pretty crazy. Now if you sell 20 homes this year, and I'm calling Sandra out because she's right there and I know Sandra. So if you sell 20 homes, Sandra, do you get to sell the same 20 clients next year, or do you have to go find a brand new 20?
You have to find a brand new 20.
Right, and do that every year. And then if you want to better your lifestyle, and the only way you can better your lifestyle is to sell 30 homes or 40 homes, right?
Yes.
Is it a lot harder to sell 40 homes versus 20 homes?
Yes, well, you get a system down, it helps a little bit more, but you still have to contact new people every day and getting more, you have to continue the grind.
Right, you still have to go out and show more property or list more property, which means more work, right? So
Absolutely.
anyways, like, you have systems, you have people, you have team, it's still more work. So thank you for sharing. So there's the way the tier works. First level, you need five agents to unlock to the second level, and it goes all the way down to the sixth level where it goes from 25 to 40. That's the only difference. And there's different amounts at each level, and that's based upon, that's up to 2,800, up to 3,200, based upon a full capping agent. Okay. So let's just go a little bit further with this because it gets really crazy. And this is the power of compounding. Well, so once you attract 25 agents in their tier one, I'm sorry, in your tier one, then you unlock those additional 6 levels. Okay. And let's just go out 3 years. You could do that over 3 years by just going 5 agents each month, 5 agents. And by the end of the 3 years, you'd have 625 agents in your total group size after 3 years. Okay. What we did here is we said out of the 84,000 agents that EXP has, about 12% participate in the rev share component. Not every agent has to. You don't have to. You're not required to do this. But out of the 12% that participate, the average is between $800 and $1,000 annually per agent in income to the agent that sponsored them. So we took the lower number of 800, and we just said if we took the 800 and we multiplied it by that 625 people, that's $500,000 in passive income. Unbelievable. How important would you go on another buyer appointment if you were making $500,000 passively? I don't think you'd go on another buyer appointment. Maybe you just deal with sellers. I don't know. Me, I personally wouldn't probably. I'll probably give the buyer's agents to my team members and just go on from there. So, the power of compounding is huge here, but just let's say you went to the stock market and you wanted to generate $500,000 in passive income at a 5% return on investment. You'd have to have $10 million invested before you could ever earn the $500,000 and leave that $10 million invested to make that passive where it pays year after year after year. Who has $10 million in here?
That's ridiculous. My title company, we don't charge a remote closing.
Sorry about that. So who's got $10 million to invest? I don't. Seventh way to generate money here at the model is using Relo. Now, this is not part of EXP. This is completely separate and apart. And that's really cool because that means any agents that don't want to join EXP could join Relo. Relo stands for Real Estate Agent Loan Originator. It is a structure that was kind of copied off of the EXP model by a gentleman by the name of Eric Bowlby, who's the CEO of AmeriFirst Mortgage out of Phoenix, Arizona. AmeriFirst has been around since the early to mid 80s, I believe, and they do about $2 billion in mortgages. So they're a big direct lender, not the top in the country, but they're one in the top, I think 15 or 10 and direct lenders. But what they did is they said, look, we want to do what EXP did for real estate agents for the loan officers out there, which is about 1 million loan officers in this country. 750,000, I think, is the exact number. Now, with this, there's no cost to join this. The only barrier of entry is you do have to get your mortgage license, which is similar to the real estate license. It's through the NMLS system. Dual licensing is 100% compliant. This model has been challenged in 33 states, and we've won all 33 challenges. We're currently in 45 states at the moment. We're not in all 50 states, but almost. And it's basically where the real estate agent, loan originator, the real estate agent gets the license so that they can originate the loan. And that gives them the ability to earn a commission now on that loan legally on all conventional loans. Now, VA and FHA loans, you cannot, it's not legal to earn a commission and earn the real estate commission. And all it means is you got to go get your license. Now, as soon as you take start the pre-licensing, the 20-hour pre-licensing course, you can start building your Relo network. Now you can't get paid on it until you get your license. So you don't have to wait until you get your license to be able to begin building your network. So just think about all the EXP agents that are on this call. You can actually be in my Reload downline. Unless your sponsor is already part of Reload, then please work. I mean, whoever invited you here or your sponsor is, maybe you want to check with them. But if you want to be part of my Reload downline, I'll give you my contact information at the end. But you could be part of that even though you're already with EXP. Or let's say you have somebody from Remax that's not ready to come over, but definitely likes this. It's an incredible tool that it ties in with your current conversations around the EXP rev share model. Now, sounds interesting. How do I get paid? There are two ways Reload Funding Originator makes money. The first one is you get compensated 0.5% on a loan that you originate using your application. So on a $500,000 loan, you can earn up to $2,500 on that 0.5%. And so let's say you have a purchase price of $500,000 with a loan of $450,000, with that buyer has 10% down because you're putting 10% down. So it's $450,000 loan, and you're on a 70-30 split with your real estate. So this isn't even using 80-20 at EXP, but let's say you're on a 70-30 split with your broker. Your commission would be $10,500. Now you add in the additional $2,250 from the Reload commission for just helping. Now, if you ask your client, look, you've trusted me to help you find the perfect home. Do you trust me to help you with the loan? My team, meaning me and my Sherpa, which is a loan officer that's also on the back end of this platform, that's going to actually do the loan. So me and my lending team, Dakota, let's just say her name is Dakota, are going to help you with your loan. Now you can go to any lender you want, but if you do want us to help you, we can help you out with the end-to-end part of the process. Then you would earn $2,250 additional. That's a 24% pay raise. Who wants a pay raise? I do. And then there's Reload Rev Share. Reload Rev Share is the second way you make money. And I explained to you how EXP works. It works very similar. Now with the Reload Rev Share, it's based upon the loan amount. What AmeriFirst Mortgage did is they put a $500 marketing fee on the back of every loan, which every lender does this. They put a marketing expense. It's usually on average of about $900. But what AmeriFirst did is they made it $500, and they said, you know what, we're going to take that $500 and we're going to share it on a 7-level corporate structure. So it doesn't affect the buyer's rate. It's not coming from the buyer at all, other than a marketing expense, which is collected through origination fees and processing fees. So it does come from the buyer indirectly, but that $500 gets spread out throughout the platform. So let's just say in this example, on your Reload Rev Share, you go out and you actually talk to one person, and over the course of a year, you talk to 20 people. So you add 20 people to your first level. And let's say those 20 people, they go out and they only talk to 2 people. And each person that on your first level and your second level and so forth, do 4 loans a year. That's the assumption we're making here. So you talk to 20 people and those 20 only talk to 2. Your rev share would look like this. There's the 20 person on your first level, and you're going to earn the, and they do 4 loans. That 0.5% would equal up to that $4,000. That's your personal production. You're actually making a referral fee of $4,000. Tier 1, the 20 people, now it's $100 for the 20 people you're earning on every loan they do. You're earning a $100 fee. That's $8,000, and so on and so forth. After, here's the example: 20 agents, recruit 2 agents, 4 transactions, $738,000 additional income based upon the Reload Rev Share. So it works very similar to EXP, but it's on the loan instead of on the real estate transaction. Now, let's say you take that, instead of you do an agent, you review this. You share this with a loan officer, and then they join. Look at the blue side of this. Just look at amazing. Most mortgage loan officers want relationships with agents, because that's where they get a majority of their business. We call this the golden handcuffs, because if you share this with a loan officer and they go out and share this with a ton of real estate agents, look at the potential on that 7 levels in loan income, because the loan officer makes 1% of the loan. Because remember, there's you originating the loan and there's a loan officer on the back end that is actually doing all the heavy lifting. So you're not actually doing the loan. We call it a Sherpa, because if you climb Mount Everest, the Sherpa is somebody from Nepal that goes up ahead of you and sets all the ladders and the bridges and the lines and clears the avalanches so that you have a less chance of dying. They don't get any of the glory for summiting that day, but they do a lot of the heavy lifting. That's what the loan officer on the back end is, why we call the loan officer the Sherpa. So the last thing is health insurance. Again, we talked about health insurance. Not a lot of people have health insurance options through their broker. Ours is, there's PPO options. They save on average $8,000 a year. There's covers 80% of out-of-pocket expenses. There's just a quick breakdown of some of the other companies and whether they offer insurance or not, or health insurance. You can go to expagenthealthcare.com if you know more about it. But just think of the big picture, also sharing this with all of your people that are in your network as you grow your network. That's, again, expagenthealthcare.com. So we're going to open this up to some question and answers here, but some of the frequently asked ones are, do we offer cap deferment? That's if you are currently at $0 company dollar at your current brokerage, like for example Keller Williams, and you come here to EXP and you've got three or 4 months of no company dollar at Keller Williams, we will match that and give you that 3 or 4 months without paying any company dollar. And I think it goes up to 6 months. There are some rules about it, but we do offer cap deferment. We do offer domestic partnerships. That's with a husband and a wife only have to pay 1 cap. Husband, wife, or partners, legal partners only have to pay 1 cap. Is EXP a good fit for new agents? Absolutely. We have over 60 hours of training and those Icon agents training. So absolutely a great place. If you're licensed, do you need to be licensed in more than 1 state? No, I only have a California license and I get business referral income from Texas and Massachusetts, as I told you in the very beginning. So if you have any questions, you can reach me. You can just email me here. And like, if you got questions about Relo, or if you want to schedule a one-on-one appointment to talk about that, just shoot me a quick email. I will put my phone number in the chat here. Does anybody have any questions? Did I do that good of a job that nobody's got any questions?
Hey, Sean,
Well,
it's Sandy. Hey, Sean. Oh, I just took myself off. Did I take myself off? Oh, no.
No, you're on.
Okay. Hey, sorry, I had to step away for a minute, but I just wanted to say, I think you did a great job.
Thank
And I learned some things that and I like the different slides that I've seen. So I think you just did a great job. And one of the great things about EXP that I really love the most is the collaboration between all, like you mentioned, all these big teams. And that's great, but not everybody feels like they can do that, right? But you get to glean from these agents, and they're willing to share with you. So anyway, great job. Just wanted to share that.
Thank you. And that's a great point. And then something that just piggyback on what you just said is that we also do a lot of live events. So if you check your local area, I guarantee you there's EXP agents do a live events, and we all collaborate with each other. It doesn't matter who your sponsor is or not. You could probably reach out to those person and be able to attend those events. So absolutely. But great job. Thank you. I appreciate that, Sandra. Anybody else have any questions? Well, I did a good job keeping under an hour, even though we started 6 minutes late. So Tim, if we want to wrap this up, I'll stay on as long as you guys want to stay on. But I see we've got a few people left. You can take off. That concludes the presentation, and I'll just stay on in case anybody has any questions. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.